Today we're talking about a really important topic in the landscape of our culture and society, and that is 2016 Instagram.
This is a historical time.
It actually is a big year for Instagram, which I didn't remember like off the top of my head when I was doing research, but when I was doing research, I was like, oh shit, like things actually went down for Instagram.
I was surprised by that too, because obviously amongst the three of us to decide to do this as a topic, we knew that something shifted, if you will, but I didn't realize that there was literal logistical changes in the app that probably contributed to that.
Yeah. And it is actually relevant to what people are talking about on social media today or the trends that are starting to arise. I see a lot of makeup videos of people, half their faces 2016 era makeup and half their faces modern.
Thinking about my feed at the time, the way that people looked and what they were posting, specifically selfies. Selfies were big then. Like nobody really
Mhm.
just posts a selfie anymore.
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, when was the last time you saw someone post a selfie? I can't recall.
I can't recall either. It actually gives me shivers.
It's about the photo dump now.
It is about the photo dump.
That's like kind of messing me up right now.
No. Bring back the selfie.
But before we get into discussing the platform itself, I think we should start off by describing the makeup and fashion trends that we saw on our Instagram feeds back in 2016.
This sticks out like a sore thumb in that era, but the Kylie lip kit,
Mm-hmm.
which actually Kylie Cosmetics arose in 2015, and then their name was officially Kylie Cosmetics in 2016.
Personally, I remember purple lipsticks, aside from the Kylie lip kits, being really popular.
Yeah.
Even people I went to high school with would pull up if they were feeling bold with purple lipstick. That was making a statement. But I would personally accuse Kylie Cosmetics for the colorful lipsticks at the time because they really Roy G. Biv'd it. They made a lipstick in every single color imaginable and people bought it and would try it online. That was a whole segment of YouTube, just people reviewing and trying and swatching Kylie lip kits.
Their lips would just be raw from like taking off
Yeah,
matte liquid lipstick 10 times repeatedly. Ugh.
but I think that's where a lot of the unique lipstick colors of the time came from.
Mhm.
Earth and jewel tones were really popular at the time.
Yeah.
Definitely maroon and burgundy and forest green, maybe.
2016 is very burgundy colored to me. Like, something about that color. My school colors were maroon, so I already had that covered.
You were on trend.
Mhm. Obviously, we can't ignore the fact that there's copious amounts of foundation being worn. It wasn't even just emphasizing your natural features, it was accentuating them to the highest degree. Bronzer, highlight.
This is when people started wanting to look very tan to the point where they were probably low key looking like they were trying to change race.
Mm,
And I think that kind of behavior didn't really start getting called out until 2018, maybe.
mm. I would say, though, fake tanning is still a very popular thing.
Definitely.
Yeah. But people are more.
People are more conscious to not go beyond orange.
Yes, yes.
Oh, the eyebrows.
Oh my god, the eyebrows.
Everyone was so filled in, which I have a mini theory about this because I looked up when James Charles started his YouTube channel. James Charles started his YouTube channel December 2015 and became a cover girl by October of 2016. So obviously in that time he got famous enough on YouTube to become a cover girl. And in that time he referred to his when he would do his eyebrows as boy brows. And I think because he did like really thick, quote unquote, boy brows, there was probably some influence to other people to just go thicker and thicker
Mm,
with their eyebrows. I don't think he was the first person to start really filling in their eyebrows, but he probably made his thick because he saw other people doing it. And then people saw him with even thicker eyebrows. And so everyone started really filling them in.
mhm.
And now people just use brow gel, really.
Yeah. Also, people are more likely to just like completely change the shape of their eyebrows. Like, I feel like I've seen more people just shave off their eyebrows and then draw them on however they want to or however they're feeling for that day, which I think is super interesting and cool. But back then, which I don't think that style of eyebrow has phased out. I still see a lot of people doing really thick filled in brows with like the ombre this towards the front of the brow. But it definitely was much more copy and paste back then. The clean girl aesthetic is definitely, in my opinion, a response to the 2016 era of makeup that was just so maximalist. I feel like though we're kind of on an uptrend towards maximalist types of makeup just because I feel like I've seen some people start to make sort of wearable looks of drag for every day for people who just aren't actually drag queens. And I think people have more so caught on to the clean girl aesthetic, and there's now a response being made to that.
People were influenced by drag makeup then too because there was the whole baking thing,
Baking. Yes.
which was a technique that drag queens started.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of like the techniques we use to make our makeup last comes from drag queens and people who know how to do stage makeup. Yeah, people were obsessed with baking.
Makeup was definitely really important to the IG posts, though.
It was. It was.
Most people would not be caught dead posting photos of themselves on Instagram at that time without full glam done.
Yeah.
And this is also when online personas really started to get crafted. And
Mm.
even for the average person, not just someone who's famous or an influencer. I guess there was a lack of authenticity or genuineness in who people were portraying themselves as on Instagram amongst many people.
Instagram baddie.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, I think.
Nobody used Instagram baddie in a like respectful way, I think, whenever I encountered it. So it was often, I think, used to describe Instagram models
hmm
and people who got famous by being on the platform, despite maybe the different perceptions people have around that term. I think the common denominator would be someone who definitely does not look the way they do in real life compared to what they portray on social media. Like they're using like filters or Facetune or something. Facetune was such a big thing.
It really was. And the Instagram baddie is so complicated because people were often very misogynistic towards them online, but they also perpetuated a lot of unrealistic beauty standards by using Photoshop. That definitely bred a bunch of insecurities for our generation.
Yeah.
I think the fashion of the time was also pretty basic to contrast the bold makeup. And I was thinking about the plainness of it just because there weren't any crazy patterns that were big at the time. And I wonder if that was because 2016 is just sort of rolling off of the florals and chevron that was popular in 2013 and 2014
Yeah.
and then people toned down what they were wearing.
Just long sleeve shirts and jeans.
It was really about the makeup.
I agree with that.
I do remember Thrasher t-shirts and the colorful cargo pants. I
Mm-hmm.
think those were the big statement pieces of the time.
Much more functional wear rather than like business casual being used across various contexts other than the office.
2016 was the start of dressing down on a normal day-to-day,
Yeah, wait, that's so true.
for better or for worse. Sorry, that sounded mean.
No, that makes sense though. I think people were embracing the casualness rather than dressing more formal, I guess.
I might be conflating with 2018, but I think athleisure was kind of popular too. Like I'm thinking about the Adidas joggers.
Yeah, 2016 to 2018, the fashion trends, they kind of blur in my mind.
I'm glad you said that because Earlier, I was thinking if indie sleaze is being defined as roughly 2006 to 2011 or 2012, we're so going to look back at 2016 to 2018 and define that as a period of time also.
Mhm.
And specifically 2018. Something shifts again after 2018.
It's end stage twee.
Post-twee.
Post-twee.
Wow.
Post-twee fashion. Twee also, I think, falls under sort of like it has a lot of business casual elements. Like it's very preppy, but like we said, like I think there's something very casual, like extremely casual about 2016 to 2018. And there's more so focus on makeup.
Victoria's Secret was also huge.
Oh my God.
Like pink specifically. I remember falling victim to that.
Me too. I remember my pink leggings, they got stolen.
No.
That's foul.
I was like, no way you just stole my pink leggings.
Also, this might be specific to my high school, but were people wearing LL Bean boots, the duck
Yeah,
boots?
I had a pair.
I did too, but I felt like they were clown shoes on me, so I tried to avoid wearing them.
Yeah, I think I was like, these are not practical. Unless it's like raining.
People wore them all the time though.
Yeah.
The outfit was a pair of leggings, those boots, and then that pink quarter zip with the dog on
Oh
it
yeah.
from Pink.
Yep.
That was the uniform
Mm-hmm.
of my locals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that hurts actually. That hurts.
Was that what you wore?
No, I don't think I wore pink quarter zip, but I definitely wore jeans and the duck boots and
Hmm.
like a sweatshirt or something. Like those were not comfortable at all. That brought back a memory. In my research, like I said earlier, 2016 actually was a big year for the business side of things and the marketing side of things of Instagram. And in this article from the New York Times by Mike Isaac, this article basically just describes that Instagram introduces stories, which was a Snapchat exclusive thing. And I think that started to align the beginning of how all the social media apps are starting to just replicate each other. I guess it's just another way for more content to be pushed out. Because the essence of stories is that it's content that you don't really have to think about, like editing.
It's more casual.
Yeah, I guess it's just another way for platforms to mobilize influencers to get more content out of them.
It is funny to think about Snapchat starting that and deciding that stories will last for 24 hours, and then every other platform that made stories also only made it last for 24 hours. I wonder if they'll ever make them timed, like you can choose how long they stay up for or something. They never really progressed on those features. They just made stories and then it's just stuff that you can add to the stories, not so much how long they last.
I guess they're in their perfect form though.
Yeah, but it's just kind of funny that they didn't decide to innovate any further or try to do something different than what the other apps are doing.
Mhm.
Not that they should try to make it different, but I just think it's funny that they didn't. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, yeah. The story is actually like, even though it is a direct copy from Snapchat, I think it also does make sense for a platform such as Instagram to have stories, just because in the article it says that Instagram became a place for people to publicly store their pictures and memories. So it makes sense that if you're going to have this archival platform for people, it makes sense for stories to exist just because it's something that if you need to get out there, it's casual. You don't have to really edit it and things like that. And also with Snapchat, didn't they? I don't use Snapchat anymore, but didn't they? Messages can be permanent.
I thought it was you could save them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. In my mind, like they should have just kept it temporary all the way through.
Snapchat honestly is the messiest app. It
It
tells you when you
is.
screenshot stuff, it tells you when you save stuff.
That's where the locals hang out too.
No, they're still on it.
Yeah.
I thought only teenagers were using it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So many people still do. It's genuinely shocking to me. I still have people asking me for my Snapchat.
It's just, this episode's just me just raging about Snapchat.
An article that I found called The Rise and Rise of Instagram in 2016 by Ashley Reed. It was published on November 17th, 2016. And as of then, they talked about how only 16% of companies on Instagram at the time were using the Instagram stories feature, despite verified accounts being able to, for the first time, share links on Instagram, because Instagram used to be strictly no link sharing. And then verified users had the ability to create ads on Instagram stories that had the see more, swipe up to direct you to a different link at the time. And now everybody has the ability to share links on their Instagram stories.
And thank God, because I would not be able to post episode announcements.
But Instagram making stories was almost step one to filling the platform with ads.
Yeah.
Because every other story you see is an ad, every other post you scroll down in the main feed is an ad. And I think the link sharing aspect contributed to that.
Yeah. That's fair.
Also, the article mentioned that Instagram shopping was on the horizon at the time that it was published. So that was a feature that came about either late 2016 or at some point in 2017.
And of course, also in 2016, Instagram rebranded their logo from the little camera to this little, I mean, still camera, but kind of abstract camera.
The ombre. That was surprising for me to find out because I feel as though the logo changed centuries ago. To find
Mm.
out it was only 2016 that it got changed. Shocking, to say the
Well, they
least.
haven't changed it since, I don't think. So it does kind of feel,
I think they changed the ombre a little,
oh,
but once they left the brown camera behind, they never looked back.
I think that was the nail in the coffin, honestly. Capitalism took over.
I'm genuinely shocked. 2016 is when they dropped that. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why my brain is having a hard time comprehending that, but that seems so recent. It was like 8 years ago.
It is recent, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. Additionally, in 2016, I'm getting this information from an article written by Taylor Lauren, and it basically is talking about all the trends during that year. It explains a trend where people started caring more about their feeds as a whole rather than just individual posts, which, yes, because people started having like themes for their profiles and stuff.
Liza Koshy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's still a thing. Maybe people don't notice it as much because the algorithm is so messed, but people definitely still care more about not the post they're posting now, but also like 6 posts ahead, I guess. Even if you're just like a personal account. And then I think this article also explains that businesses and advertisers started caring about that as well. And I think that has continued as well, especially when it comes to social media management, cohesiveness in your account and your appearance on social media is so important to them.
2016 is also the year that the Instagram timeline went from being chronological to algorithm based.
Oh yeah.
And the article that I was reading, again by Ashley Reed, was very optimistic about this change, but it was also written when the change happened back in 2016. And there's a quote here that, looking back at, I think is a bit funny, that says, content is listed based on an algorithm that decides what you're most likely to want to see based on accounts and content you've previously interacted with. There's a huge upside to this for the Instagram community, with the bar being raised for brands and influencers to create better content to have any chance of being seen. It also means you're far more likely to see posts from your best friend over a brand you followed a few years back but have never interacted with, which generally currently believed not to be true.
Mm.
Many people have expressed not seeing their friends' posts and only seeing posts from people with a lot of followers or brands with a lot of followers or ads.
Which I think takes away from that quote I said earlier from the New York Times article about Instagram being sort of a public archive. Instagram choosing to cater more towards people that I guess bring the most business and advertising money to the platform rather than just the everyday people who are posting pictures of their life and trying to connect with their friends and family on the platform.
It definitely was intended to be an archival platform,
Yeah.
though.
And no, yeah, for sure. But I think that the fact that they're more so focused on the commercialization of it has taken away from that.
Definitely.
Because it's like it's one thing to post those photos for your own archive, but also it's important to you as a user probably to be able to interact with other people's posts that are similar to what you are posting rather than what brands are posting and the products they're trying to sell to you or services too. Because I don't think there's really any way for someone to just cut out all those posts or to really,
Weed them out.
yeah, weed them out without having to go on this like blocking spree or clicking not interested on every ad you see. Like, it shouldn't be really that tedious to be able to see exactly what you want on your timeline.
They did implement recently a feature where you could open up the Instagram app and switch to a chronological timeline, but you couldn't set it to automatically do that. You'd have to manually do it yourself.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
From their perspective, I would think they like the algorithm that they've implemented because if every time a person opens up Instagram, they're seeing a new post, they're going to keep leaving the app and coming back and leaving and coming back. Instagram is going to get more engagement from them doing that because they're seeing a different post every time. Because with the chronological timeline, it used to be you would leave and come back and see that the same post is still there, so nobody else has posted anything in that time. And so then you're less likely to keep going and checking just to see the same post again. The algorithm leaves you wanting more, and every time you go in, you see something different, and you have that social media rush or high that you wouldn't get with a chronological timeline that's showing you the same most recent post, which is messed up.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I think this is just generally when influencers and Instagram influencers specifically started rising.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that has to do with people that were famous on Vine
Oh,
exiting
yeah.
the platform.
Yeah. And Musically was around.
That's right, actually. That's so weird. That's weird that they like crossed over.
Yeah.
But when the Viners started switching to YouTube to make long form content, they started using Instagram as their marketing technique.
It definitely was the right move at that time.
It was a very transitional
It
year.
was no, yeah. Now that we've discussed this, it really was. It really was.
And by the end of the year, that was the Killer Clowns, no?
Really? It was in 2016 when that first happened?
Yeah.
Bro, that's actually crazy.
There was a lot going on that year. And we haven't even said that there was an election. It was also an election
Yeah, it
year.
was an election year.
The election year.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Actually, when you die, and if you are sent to hell, it's actually just January 1st, 2016. And then you have to live through the year over and over again.
I don't know how relevant this is to what we intended to talk about, but I think with 2016 being an election year, it ushered in the era of girlboss feminism,
Mm.
which we've talked about a little bit, but it just makes me think of what I was seeing being posted around that time and going forward as that era slowly took form. And it's just interesting to think about how that era coincided with influencer culture becoming a thing. And I think people felt the need, for better or for worse, for better, definitely, but I think it also had its downsides, as everything does. They felt the need to brand themselves within that era of feminism. And I think it contributed to the way that people essentially marketed themselves on Instagram to keep up with the algorithm and to build their personal brands, so to speak.
I think social media activism was born this year also.
Yeah.
There was somewhat of a trend of specifically YouTubers I saw it with, but I think other celebrities were doing this too, where they would essentially come out with who they're voting for in the 2016 election.
Yeah.
Hashtag I'm with her
Yes.
viral.
Hmm. You guys mentioned how it was like a transitional year for social media. I feel like 2016 was the initial death of the blogger in favor of Instagram. I was a Tumblr girly and I was scrolling through my archive on Instagram just to see what I was up to in 2016, and I was desperately trying to hold on to that Tumblr essence, which I think still existed very much, but Instagram certainly dominated. And so with that, the blogger kind of faded away in favor of a new version of blogging that was centered around photos as Instagram was intended.
And in the same vein, Visco, people would post both on Visco but also repost on Instagram. And the viral posts that would go viral on Visco were Tumblr and Pinterest-esque. And also, the editing service at the time on Visco was free. You could buy filter packs, but most of the editing features were free. Nowadays, that's not the case.
We don't have to leave this in, but I'm curious what y'all were posting on Instagram in 2016.
I think I deleted all of my posts. Didn't even leave them in the archive.
Fair.
I think like selfies probably.
I'll go to my actual photos and see what I was doing in 2016. Oh, this is bad. I actually hate this already.
Actually, I skipped. I have 4 posts from 2015, and then the next post is from 2017. So I don't know, something bad happened in 2016 or something, and I did not post at all. So that's crazy.
I was scrolling through my Instagram archive and it really bothered me that all my shit was in black and white. All of my memories are in black and white.
That is so like on brand.
It's so bad. All of my memories, when I look back in like 20 years, even, I'm gonna be like, why the fuck was I so obsessed with black and white? And I still am. I'm a victim to it. What's that line from 16 Candles? Black and white just captures the moment.
It
And it
does though.
does. It does, yeah. I only posted in black and white. And what was that one app? You guys might remember the name of it, where you could get the white borders.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I was a black borders girly.
Oh my God. I used
Oh,
whiteboards.
Yeah.
I used whiteboards.
controversial.
Yeah. I think in middle school I used the white borders sometimes, but then I was like, I like black more. So all my posts were black border.
Going against the grain.
Yeah.
Or thinking I did for sure, yeah.
If you could make a theme for your Instagram, what would it be? Like, what would it be centered on?
I think I would just be more liberal about the things that I post. I would just post everything.
Oh, that's fair. I think I need to be in that mindset.
It would just be more chaotic. I would do away with photo dumps and just post every photo individually. It all gets its own post.
Yeah, yeah. My theme would be I would make all the photo colors inverted.
Please do that. Then everybody gets to stare at it and then go look at the wall and blink and
Yeah,
see the picture still.
exactly. It's everlasting. But also it reminds me of like in like true crime documentaries when it like zooms in on a photograph and like glitches or like switches to the inverted and like scary though.
Why do they do
I
that?
don't know. I don't know. And it makes their eyes like white and it's like scary as fuck.
That's such a you answer.
I'd bring back Man Crush Monday.
Man Crush Monday! Oh, I think Ewan McGregor was my Man Crush Monday like 3 weeks in a row once.
Real.
We need to bring back transparency. I want to know who your celebrity crush is. Post them on your Instagram feed.
In the comments, y'all put your Man Crush Monday,
Mm-hmm.
Women Crush Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Please do. Please do.
Somebody sent me like a screenshot of what my Instagram looked like in like 2013, and I got viscerally angry.
Like, why do you have
I know,
that?
I was like, why are you sending me this? Like, do you hate me? Like, do you want to hurt me? There's a few of my friends that had like old Instagram accounts that they got locked out of, and
Oh no. Oh no.
So it's always a treat to like go and just look at, but this is like pre 2016, so like the posts are like really messed and just like really like why would you post this? But like it only makes sense for like a kid to post that, you know?
2016 Instagram feed was horrible, dirty camera quality because I had a LifeProof case that was just
Oh, I did
disgusting.
too. I did too. Yeah.
And it just glazed over the camera.
Yeah.
I have a screenshot of Coldplay's Instagram. So this is what Instagram used to look like in 2016.
Oh
Aw.
my God. That is so crazy. Oh, Instagram used to look ancient.
Yeah.
It's actually like this is kind of a fever dream.
It's scary to look back at.
I was scrolling through during work and getting like secondhand embarrassment. It's like, Jesus Christ, what was wrong with you?
What was wrong with us is that we were 15.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah. Posting shit I had no business posting.
Anything else I need to talk about?
We touched on everything.
Oh, I also wanted to say, everyone go follow us on TikTok.
I think we need to plug looking at our description because we have loads of links. Everything
Yes.
that we reference is in the description. All of our social media in the description. We do
Yeah.
Spotify playlists for almost every single episode. That's all in the description. Go to our link tree. Everything is on our link tree. We do Pinterest boards.
Yes.
It sounds like I'm doing a commercial. We do lawn care. We mow your lawn. We seed the grass.
Yeah, go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, Spotify, and subscribe on YouTube.
We're plotting to be more active on Twitter.
Yes.
Starting this episode. We pledge to you. Do.
Yeah, post your man crush Mondays and woman crush Wednesdays. There's not an inclusive term for non-binary people. They crush Thursdays.
There you go.
Them crush.
Them crush Thursdays. So just go ahead, paste them in the comments. Also, we will probably reply to you.
We will
We
reply.
will.
Okay, yeah. Unless you say something really mean,
Yeah, then no.
then you're getting blocked.
Mhm. And reported and deleted. We're very no nonsense about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've run a very serious operation here.
But also, like, don't be scared. We're literally just girls.
Yeah. Especially if you're from Ireland, then please respond.
Oh, yeah. If
Please.
you are Irish, once again, more than welcome.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you later.